Trucker Terrence here. I'm getting ready to show you how I fuel up my truck. I got my depth fluid right here. We're getting ready to add some in there and hit the road. All right, check me out. Let's talk about fueling up. So we got these fuel tanks right here. On-road diesel, off-road diesel. I got my battery pack. And then we have my fuel tank. So I'm gonna loosen up my fuel tank here. Open that up. Sit that there. And then we are going to open up this little compartment here. And you make sure, because you don't want to mess this up, do not use off-road diesel. We got on-road diesel. You feel me? And then we have the positive and negative charge. So we're going to connect the positive and negative to the positive and negative over here. You are playing with electricity and fuel that is highly combustible. Don't mess this up. Could mean your life. And then we have our fuel pump right here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to connect the positive to the positive and the negative to the negative. All right, now I need my hands for this. Let's see if we can position this camera here. So I like to make sure I keep these separate right here. And we're going to connect this positive to the positive and kind of sit that there, and then connect the negative to the negative. And I never got really comfortable with this system here, but this is what we got to do. This is how they got us doing it. All right, I'm making sure that these two aren't touching. You know, no metal is touching any other metal. I just like to be a little bit more safe. All right, and we're good to go. This right here is my fuel switch, and it's going to make noise when I turn it on. So I'm going to hit that switch, and if it's not connected properly, I usually like to jiggle these around a little bit so they can get a better connection. But if they do have a proper connection and this thing is charged, because the charge on this right here is going to determine whether this actually turns on or how well or efficiently it runs. Because if it's not charged good, it's going to wane and it's going to pump super slow, and that's not what we want. We want this thing to pump at full charge, full speed. So we're going to hit this switch and see if we got a good connection. Which we do. We have a good connection. Good. And now I'm going to pull out this hose somewhere here. All right. We got enough hose on there. Now we're going to pull out this pump. Now that I got enough slack on the pump, I'm going to take off the top here. And there's my fuel tank. I'm going to enter that in there. And again, confirm. On-road diesel, not off-road. We have the on-road diesel pump. We confirmed. It's running. It's good to go. And then now we're going to start pumping. So I'm going to hold the handle here, and I'm going to push. And I do have a little lock. This thing does have a lock on it. Sorry. So this thing has an automatic shut off. If it's detecting like too much back pressure on the liquid, it'll turn off on its own. But this thing does have a lock right there. So it has to be positioned properly to where it's like getting good. Oh man, come on. All right, so right now it's locked and it's constantly pumping. So technically I could let it go, but to be safe, because this is not a good place to really hold this. This can fall out and then you start splashing. So you want to hold this down and keep your hand on it. And while my hand is on it, I can keep it in a good position where it's not splashing back at the pump, so the pump is not detecting that it's full. But that's a safety feature. And I'm just gonna hold this here until I start to fill this thing up, and it actually is filled and I can see the liquid. So I'm just gonna keep pumping. And again, We got safety features here, things not to do. Read all your safety features and just know what you're doing. You know, don't smoke no cigarettes, don't light anything near this open flame because those vapors are combustible. And fuel your truck, just how I'm doing now. This thing is running at full capacity. So I'm getting ready to finish my fuel. I'm gonna finish fueling up my truck here. Okay, now you can see it right there. You see that liquid? You can see it getting full right there. And the pump is gonna automatically turn off. Boom, it just automatically turned off after it detected that it's full right there. Let that finish dripping. And I'm gonna put my cap back on. So, put my cap back on. Make sure it's on there properly. And kind of tight, not too tight. Let me turn off this machine here. We're gonna plug up our hose. The pump, put the pump in there, snug. All right, we're gonna disconnect. Let's disconnect our electric cables. Hold up. Let's put this, position this camera. Let's disconnect our electric cables. Remove the negative charge. Let's remove the positive charge. Sit these back in here. All right. I'll roll up this pump cable a little bit. We want this hose out the way. We don't want anything getting snagged on this. All right. Make sure this is in here nice and secure. All right, and we're good to go. Close up this compartment. And return the battery charger back to its proper place, and we are properly fueled up. All right, let's do it. All right. Take off the top here, poke a hole in the top there. I'm gonna pop this cap on, so get that little snap, and then we screw it on to fully make it nice and snug. And this has little air vents on it. Elongate the tube here. And then we're gonna pop off this cap, this DEF fluid cap. And then I'm gonna put this nozzle in here first. And then I'm gonna turn it up. All right, here we go. I usually get a few drops leaking before it stops leaking. All right, there we go. It's flowing in there. Now I'm not fully empty, but this thing can probably withstand maybe 2 of these containers. And this is what, 2.5 gallons, 9.46 liters. But I'm gonna add one in here right now, and maybe add another one when I come back. But this is good for now. This will put me at about 3/4 full. You can turn this thing all the way upside down too. It's almost finished. Yeah. About empty there. Pull that nozzle out. All right. Put your cap back on. Recycle the box and dispose of the plastic properly. And we're done. And that's how I fuel up my truck. Get ready to return the battery pack. Ready to hit the road. About to head back out. Go pick up some more block or some loads of pavers. And keep on trucking. You know, keep making money. You know, we getting to it. Appreciate y'all for watching. Trucker Terrence here. See you on the next one.